If you get notifications, I'll crop them out of the video. Unless they're really embarrassing. Hey guys, DMS here today. I have this loser. We're gonna make a tier list.
This is my first tier list.
Ever?
Yeah.
I've been telling you to make these for a while.
They seem like a fun idea.
They get reasonable amounts of views for the amount of effort that's put into them, which makes me so sad. I'm like, why don't you guys watch the regular reviews more?
Is picking everything up. That's fun.
Hello.
Siri sucks.
We're doing this on the iPad Pro.
Please stop.
We figured this would be fun because there's probably things we won't.
That's not nice.
No, go away.
That's not nice.
I don't want you. How do you?
Sexy iPad Pro. We're doing this because we figured it'd be fun because there's probably things that we won't agree on, but that's kind of what makes it interesting. So this is strictly for your entertainment. We agreed we're doing this by value.
Yeah, I mean, the tier is not made up of value. It's like a $40 headphone that's really stellar for a $40 headphone is going to get, top tier, and a $1,000 headphone that's really good for a $1,000 headphone is going to get top tier.
Right.
And everything's going to be based off of its own average.
Pretty much. So if you see a Porta Pro way up at the top, it doesn't mean Porta Pro is better than everything else. It just means it's a good value.
For the money it costs.
So like if we put Porta Pro above like HG800,
maybe.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's better than HG800, but it's probably it's a better value.
Maybe, yes. Okay.
We have a lot of interesting things on here.
Do you want to just go in order? Do you want to lay out what we got here, or just kind of go?
Let's go with the flow. Let's start with something, not the worst thing. What about this one? That's like I usually like to start with that one because I'm not a fan of it.
We'll do. You did it. Why?
Yeah. Okay. Our tiers. So at the top is the best. At the bottom is the worst. It goes S for the best. A, B, C, C minus, D, E, F.
Explain the S thing for me, because I'm like, I feel like it should just be like A, B, C, D, E, like
S tier. It's just I don't know. That's just how they do tier lists.
Super. Okay.
S tier is just like primo, top of the crop. Like the color coding doesn't mean anything, but just like if it's at the top, it's good. If it's at the bottom, it shouldn't exist.
Pretty simple. Nice. Okay. So M50s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with C minus.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, because there are a lot of people who like them. They don't sound particularly pleasant, but they also aren't like overly offensive in any way. I just think they're a little bit overhyped, but that's not the headphones' fault.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I will die on a different hill.
Okay. Oh, you want to go straight C? I mean, we could split the difference. If you think it's like E, we could split the difference to D.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay. All right. You think it's E?
Yeah, I'd say probably E.
Okay,
on
so
this list, because we have things that go far lower.
M50 D tier. Neither of us are fans of the M50, but
it is a head. There are worse things that have opened my eyes to how bad things can truly be.
Sorry if I was real low. That's okay. Selfish.
Yeah,
now the dog's gonna be super loud. Okay.
She's really talkative.
Let's do relevant headphone. Fidelio X3. I hate this headphone.
E.
I'm gonna go E2.
Yeah.
All right.
We agree. E tier.
It's about the price and what the H2 used to be. They should have listened to people who liked their products, not the people who didn't, I think. Okay. What you got?
Here, hand me this for a second.
Yeah.
Let me.
There you go.
I'm blind. I'm not wearing my glasses. Yeah, I probably should have worn my glasses, all things considered. Wow, this is just like, there's so many things.
So many things. Grado SR80s, what do you think?
Grado SR80s, I would put them as like C tier for value.
I would say B, but
yeah,
we can go C.
Fair enough. Yeah, I feel like, I almost moved that.
They're not like a super...
That was at E.
They're not a super... No, it was at D.
Was it?
Yeah, the M50 was at D.
Okay.
They're not a super, like, impressive headphone. They just sound nice.
They have decent soundstage.
Like,
they have, like, a fair bit of treble. It's just, like, for the price, it's like, hey, you know what? I could enjoy that.
Dog.
Hey, Puck.
What's up, dog?
You have an opinion on any of this?
What do you think? Okay, SHP 9600s. I'm gonna go with A tier. They're really good.
Really?
They're just a little bit too expensive. Like they need like a 30% reduction in price, and they're gonna be like the golden standard for the price.
I agree with it.
If they were $100, they'd be S tier, but they're super good.
That's exactly. What's funny is I wrote something on my Patreon today, and I was like, wait until these are $100.
Yeah.
And then they'll be a great value.
100%.
But until then, it's like gonna be a little bit whack. Okay, what else we gotta do on here? We got LX. Ah, man.
That's A tier.
Yeah,
I don't like the pad situation that Drop has right now.
That was kind of bad.
That's kind of been a lame process to go through.
Yeah. If you don't know about that, like, there's just people wanted replacement pads for them, and it didn't work out very well. That's the short version.
Yeah. Part of that was Focal's fault. But
Right.
still.
Everybody got one pad.
But the headphone itself, outside of the, extra user experience,
Good
is
headphone.
really, really good.
Yeah. More focals.
Sure.
Clear. I feel like this is an S, personally.
Yeah. It's real nice. I like
Clear
it.
is like, if I'm talking about like a dynamic, the Clear is probably my favorite dynamic.
It's like crispy but warm.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I prefer that over Utopia, personally.
Good old-fashioned Sundara. What do you think?
Sundara, for me, is an A-tier headphone.
Okay.
100%. Like,
Sure.
it's so damn good for its price.
I think it's S because I
Really?
can't think of a better headphone at the price. Maybe in specific areas, but like not overall.
I know headphones I like more at the price.
Okay, all right. A is acceptable for me.
Okay. Like, depends on what I'm doing. If I'm like pure critical listening, I'd like Sundara. But for enjoyment, I actually prefer the 6XX at that price bracket, even though it is cheaper.
That's a good headphone.
I think Sundara is more technically
Okay, so we can
capable.
throw the 6XX right up next to it, I think.
Yeah.
It's A tier. There's things that are arguably better at slightly lower prices.
We need to put something in B tier.
I think that the Empyrean can go in B tier.
Okay.
It's a really good headphone, but it's pretty pricey.
In the bassy boy. Oh, I almost dragged that
Bassy.
out of the way. Yeah, if you like bass,
It's like an LCDX, or sorry, not X, an LCD competitor, I would say.
yeah. Which
Yep.
LCD should we put there? The 2C or the X? I feel like the 2C probably is a B tier.
The X is an A tier headphone.
Yeah.
That's
I can't tell which one's
That's a
which.
baller
They're so
headphone.
small. They look the exact same in this.
okay. One of them's the X and one of them's the 2C.
Let's pretend this is
So.
the 2C, and that's going to go right here.
Sure,
Let's pretend this is the X, and that's going to go right here.
sure. Baller science.
1060C, maybe? In C tier?
No, I'm gonna put that in beer. Man, it's low 200s now. I think.
Okay. Oh,
Like-
really? Is it?
I think so.
That's not bad. For
I
low
think-
200s, it's
let
not
me,
bad.
Let me double check. You entertain while
Okay.
I look this up.
Well, while Josh is doing that, I put Aria in F tier.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, it's 279, so it's still about 300 bucks.
I'd say C tier at 279. If it was 200 or like 220, I'd say B tier.
All right, I'll let you put it in C tier if I get to like initiate an extra bump for a different headphone.
It's gonna be Aria. That's what you're gonna do.
I don't know what it's gonna be.
It's gonna be
I don't
Aria.
know what it's gonna be.
Okay.
But I want something. Okay.
All right. HG820. We can both agree that that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's the price that killed. Like, if that thing was $1,000, or like maybe even like a dual setup with like the standard 800,
Yeah.
or maybe even the 800S, it might be more justifiable. But
Can we agree that this is
Given
the
the
first
price jump.
F tier headphone on this list?
what is?
820.
Yeah, it's bad.
If you really, really like listening to music through a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom sink,
Hear me out though. It does have some redeeming qualities. Like the build quality is actually kind of good.
it's really light.
And yeah, it's lightweight. It's comfortable. It's got the Gorilla Glass, which is like a cool feature.
Just don't use it.
Just don't listen to it. Just look at it. No.
Since we covered the HG820, we should do a picture of this man.
No, I think we need more. We need more degrees of separation.
We
you know
do.
What? Let's move the M50 to the C minus.
Okay.
The X3 to the D.
Okay.
And the H820 to the E.
Really?
Yeah, we need
yeah,
need
you're
a
right,
couple
you're
bits
right.
of space to what's coming, because some of these are just the worst.
Let's go on and put just this plain empty trash can
With
at
no
F minus.
explanation.
Actually, let's put it at F.
Yeah, no
There needs to be
explanation.
a degree of separation here. That's a plain empty trash can. It doesn't play music. That's at F tier.
No, that's not true. It has a gorilla in it that plays music for you of your favorite songs.
He's untrained. He's very
He's
bad.
untrained. Okay. 1990. What do you think?
1990. I feel like 1990.
That's like A tier. It's.
Yeah, I'm torn between A and B. I'm like B and a half, but I could say A.
I think it's A tier because it's like it's really good. The build quality is exceptional. It's easy to drive. You don't need a ton of amplification. It's usable for professional work, and at the
Right.
price range, that's desirable.
So hear me out. The only reason it's B and a half now instead of A for me is because I feel like the $300 is 80% as good as it and beats it on value.
Yeah, but we're judging at price, not comparatively.
Okay.
Between right,
I suppose.
So-
yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's value.
but it's not S tier for me because it does have problems. It's
Right,
very
it
good.
ain't perfect.
but it's not perfect.
Then I'd say B tier is $300 for me.
Okay.
Because
What
it's
would
just
you
like it's
consider
such a good
S
value.
in that price range?
What do I consider S in that price
Yeah.
range? 560S is
I
like
put that at like an A.
for me, the
Maybe
560S is like up there. For me, that's like one of the most exciting things that I've seen in headphones in a long time, for my preferences.
All right.
Because, like...
We can split the difference.
Okay, where's the difference?
Well, put the 1990...
1990's here.
Put the 300R in, you said B?
Yeah, I'd say B for 300R.
Okay. And then we can also put that in A, I suppose.
All right.
So 560S in A.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good headphone. I think
look
my
for, like,
biggest
studio
complaint-
shit.
I know, but I think my biggest complaint, it just doesn't have like a lot of like dynamic range for the bass response. It just
doesn't have a lot of
punch.
jazz. It's like, I want a headphone that sounds like really good in-wall studio monitors. Like that kind of sound. And that's what that sound is to me. When I hear that, I'm like, this is exactly what I would think of as reference, so to speak.
Alrighty.
Like, there's more things that are like more like enjoyable, but that, I don't know, for me, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I'll rant about it. You want to talk about it longer?
No, it's not.
500-word essay. The animal or the sad man?
Or the sad man. Sad man.
Sad man? What's your sad man going?
Sad man. I'm gonna go with, is that 800S or 800?
That's an 800. But they're interchangeable because you can do the SDR mod for
I will
like $10.
say, actually, I will say B tier. Because they are the best, literally the best at the price at specific things.
Like soundstage.
Yeah, like soundstage. But they are also, they have a lot of downsides. Like
Yeah.
they're not very strong for the bass. Oh, it's the HD 800, by the way.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if
Ron
we
wearing an
specified.
HD 800.
Yeah, that's sad man.
He's
wearing an
sad
HD
because he's
800.
wearing HD 800.
He's wearing an HD 800, right. 800S, I would probably put in A tier. I think it's really good. It doesn't have as many problems as the 800S. Or I'm sorry, the 800. It's not perfect, though.
It's
definitely
like
still
the,
got problems.
It's the 800, but basically with like the Super DuPont resonator mod on it, essentially.
Not really. They did a bit more work.
Right, but it's that direction.
Yeah, I mean, achieving the goal to various degrees, I suppose.
Let's since this is like a relative to that, like people compare them a lot, the T1s.
Okay,
We got two of them.
Yeah, the T1 Gen 2 was like a mini HD800,
Yeah.
but for half the cost.
Yeah.
And I think that should go in that same range.
I feel like
B tier.
it doesn't, it's not as big in stage, but I do feel like the T1 was more detailed.
I don't know about that. To me, it always just sounded like if this was the HD800, the T1 was just like,
That's
it's like
fair.
80% as wide, but
It
like
is-
the same delivery.
It's not quite as wide.
And then the S region, it kind of like, with the 800, it always sounded like a sizzle.
Yeah,
And the T1 always sounded like a zing.
right.
It's kind of tinny almost.
And the new T1 3rd gen. So that was 2nd gen. This is the 3rd gen, just came out. I got it like a few days ago. We both listened to it.
It's terrible.
C tier?
D tier.
Really?
It's.
I like it more than I've taken the foam out of it. You know, I'll say D tier for now. I'm gonna listen to it a lot more and measure it and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I'd say
I'm
it's
not
C
solid.
minus with the foam out, but they put way too much foam in it, and it's like dead for upper mid range
Yeah.
and like lower treble. It is gone.
I wish it stayed high impedance also. I think it was
That's
better
true.
as a high impedance headphone. I'm gonna
You
leave it
should
here like
explain why-
loosely.
like you say that a lot,
yeah.
and I know what you mean, but I don't think a lot of people know what you mean by like why something should stay high impedance or why
A
something
high
should be high
impedance or
impedance.
inefficient headphone takes greater advantage of an amplifier's damping factor. This is a real. I feel like I should make a dedicated video to this, explaining
Probably.
this. This will be a dedicated video. I'll sit down and do the whole thing over it. Usually, high impedance things or inefficient things have some advantages, and that'll be a future subject. But they decrease this from 600 ohm to 32 ohms. Not the best choice, I think. I'm loosely putting it here because I'm still gonna do a full review on. I haven't made up my mind on all of it, but it's not. The 2nd gen was a lot better. It's not great.
Right. Or a graphene.
If you want a Bayer, it's going to be the 880, the 300R, or the 1990. Personal opinion. Graphene. Should we put it next to the trash can?
No.
Right above it?
It's
Under
like it's E.
it? E.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's really rough for the HD820.
there are two problems with the Aura for me. I don't think it
Bless
sounded
you.
that good, but I really disliked how the company handled the marketing of it.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of have like it ticked me off. I don't know.
I heard it, though, and I didn't have any experience with their marketing. I heard it and was like, I
Didn't
don't ever want to listen to this again.
Metal hear it too.
Yeah.
What was
yeah,
his
at Can
take?
Jam, somebody brought it to it. He just laughed. He put it on. He was just like, he busted out laughing. He was like, "That's fucking terrible."
I don't like it.
Yeah, Max Settings also heard it. Flux heard it. A lot of those guys heard it, and they were all just like, "You got to listen to this as like a joke." Yeah, I think at the time Max had it for review.
If the company hadn't made like all the graphs and stuff about, like, if it was a low key graphene headphone,
right?
And they were just like, "Hey, this is a cool Bluetooth headphone that features graphene," it would have been fine. But like when you market it and price it like a high fidelity headphone, it has to perform like a high fidelity headphone, and it just didn't.
Yeah, it's just not a good time. I'm propping this up on my shoe.
Have fun with that. Argon's A tier for sure.
Yeah,
They're
I could
fun.
agree with that. It's a great
comfy.
headphone.
They're
I feel
weird.
like Argon A tier. No, this is the thing. I've had a perspective change on it. I feel like it's B tier single-ended, A tier balanced. There's a balanced
You need
option for
power.
Argon. Yeah, and if you run it balanced, I really feel like you get that. Because, like, it was A tier for me before, but now after hearing what you can get out of it balanced, it's moved single-ended Argon for me down. So if you get Argon, you really want the most out of it, get it balanced. Then it's an A tier headphone.
You heard it here first, folks. This looks like I'm patting your leg.
Does kind of. This is a dog. He's not touching my leg.
No, I definitely am.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's great. Porta
Pro.
Pros.
Yeah.
Wow, look
I
at
think the
that.
same thing there.
A tier?
I was thinking B.
I think it's B.
'Cause it's still great.
It's kind of a trash build, to be honest.
It snags my hair when I take it off.
Yeah, and it like closes on you, and you got to like tape the top so
Yeah.
it doesn't expand. Yeah.
The thing to take away though here is it's in the same tier as a $3,000 headphone.
Yeah.
I remember you got the WA 33 in, and you were like, I hooked up the Porta Pro to this pretty fast.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I usually
WA 33 is like a $7,000 amp, like big balanced motherfucker, and it was good.
Porta Pro is one of the headphones that I go to like hook up to nice amps because I just want to see what's going to happen, and it's pretty much always like, yep, this is still a good headphone.
Yeah, basically.
Value stuff on the other end. 5.8X.
5.8X is probably S tier. It's pretty good.
Think so?
Yeah,
I'm going back
so.
and forth on it because I feel like the 6XX is like a lot more for a little more money.
I don't think it's a lot more. I think it's like better mid-range, but like the 5.8X has like arguably better soundstage, a little bit stronger bass response, and clearer treble sometimes.
I was gonna say B. We could split the
Put it
difference
in
on
A,
it.
I guess. Lots of A tiers.
Yeah, a
Are
lot
we
of
being
good.
too generous? Do we have to
Maybe.
reestablish this list a little bit? I don't know.
I
Okay.
could.
Rawls, I loved them. You liked them at first, and then you kind of
The
like.
longer I listened to them, the more I didn't like them.
I like them a lot. What I'm gonna put them in A tier. I think they're like kind of annoying because they're proprietary design, but it's in the nature of what they are.
I was gonna say C.
But
so we're a little bit separated
We
on
can
that.
put it in B, I guess.
Right in the middle.
Sure.
Again,
Why not?
you have your free bump. You can free bump.
I'm not
anything.
bumping that.
Okay, I know what you're gonna
Saving-
bump.
You don't know what I'm bumping.
There's not much left on this list.
Panda, THX.
B. I feel like.
I feel like it's solid there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good for
Look at it,
a
it's adorable.
Bluetooth headphone.
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth headphone that sounds just as good on Bluetooth as it does running off of an amp, and that's what's impressive about it.
Yes.
Like, quality amplification built in. More people need to do that. Where do we feel on Aria or QC35 too?
QC35s.
B, I feel like still. Because it's just
Did they reverse the update?
They did not. It's still pretty good, but it sucks that they nerfed it. But
I would
like,
say
for like just easy to use headphone all the time, it's just like, it's really easy to live
it's
with.
like, yeah, I guess B is fair because it's like S for features, but like C minus for sound quality.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so it just kind of levels out.
But
It's
I would
very
say
convenient.
for comfort, it's like an A or an S. I can wear that thing forever. Like,
Yeah.
the only time it really gets on my nerves is if I'm like on a 7-hour flight, and then I'm like, all right,
Everything's going to get on
yeah.
your nerves on a 7-hour
But
flight.
if it takes to like me falling asleep on an airplane and waking up hours later to be uncomfortable, that's pretty good build.
Yeah. Aria, S tier.
Yeah. Oh, I also want to note too, I've had that pair for 3 years and they still look brand new.
They do. They look really nice, actually. I was kind of surprised. I thought they would look S. Keep bumping.
This is your free bump?
Keep bump. Yeah.
This is your okay.
That's a
I don't
that's a
agree.
motherfucking S tier.
I don't
headphone
agree,
right there.
but you have a free bump.
Okay, hear me out. hear me out.
Okay.
The base is great. It's not like thick like an LCD, but it's like transparent, unlike most other headphones.
Okay.
Okay, I feel like that's pretty important because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
The resolving capabilities are not fantastic compared to other things at the price range, like the Clear, for example, or an HG800S. But, and I said this in my review, it is not a technically perfect performing headphone. It never was.
Yes.
But I just love it so much. Like, everything I've heard, that is still my favorite headphone.
You have a right to love it.
Like, it's so good.
This is America. I
so
can't
good.
disagree with that.
Except you do. You're like, it's trash.
I don't like it.
I love it.
It has good bass.
It's so good.
Comfortable. It's well built. I dislike the fact that it's less resolving, and I dislike the treble response, but I see why you like it.
So where would you place it?
Probably B. Maybe like A on a good day, B on a normal day, personally. I'd put it right there. I'd put it in the same tier as the Empyrean. Like, they're a similar headphone from my perspective. It's not bad, but for me, it's a B tier. But I think that there are people out there that would find it to be higher tiers.
Okay, and then we should talk about the best headphone on this whole list. It's terrible. It's so bad.
We couldn't put just like
God.
an F tier because there needs to be a degree of separation between it and a trash can that isn't even a speaker or a headphone.
So what is it? It's a take
TH2 Plus.
Take TH2
The
Plus.
ultimate dumpster fire.
It is a $6,000 absolute piece of trash
Yeah.
from a guy who I would personally...
You want to fight him?
I personally think he's scamming the shit out of people, but that is my personal opinion.
Or he's like severely damaged, hearing wise.
Okay, so I have a theory about that, right? Like, theoretically, if your hearing is damaged, good headphones are still going to sound better than bad headphones.
Depends on how badly it's damaged.
I don't think so, because it'd be like a vibrant TV through like blurrier and blurrier glasses, right? Like,
Well, people get like frequency response loss. So like some person, they might lose like their ability to hear 4 kilohertz or something.
but that's consistent with everything. So like
Kind
they're
of.
going to have the same point of reference.
Somewhat, but here's the thing. If this is your ear's frequency response and you lose a lot of 4 kilohertz, then something with really boosted 4 kilohertz is going to sound flat to you. Yeah, my camera overheated. We stopped. We ate some sandwiches. I'm wearing a different color hat.
What?
No, it's the same color.
And why did you just, you know... Yes.
Yes,
Outro.
that's about all we got.
Yep, tier lists. They're fun.
Did we
I
learn
don't
anything?
see the point.
Yeah, I don't think we learned anything, but it was interesting.
I guess it's a good idea to like kind of... Maybe it would be a good idea to do a tier list in like a different way where you actually see where things stand in comparison to everything else regardless of price.
Yeah, just do it like
total sound quality.
Probably should do some of those.
That I could see that being kind of useful, just like how do things stack up.
I'll make one of those at some point in the near future.
Should
Anyway, thank you for appearing on the channel, doing this whole thing.
Sure.
Even though
I'll send you my bill.
yeah, there you go. Just invoice me.
Invoice you. Right?
You guys should support the channel on Patreon. That way I can afford Josh's invoice. But other than that,
It's ridiculously expensive.
yeah, it's gonna be like double my car, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you liked this video, guys, please leave a like down below, a comment letting me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get active in the community, you can at forum.hifiguides.com. And as always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Until next one, guys. Peace.